What's good? What's good, man? It's one of them nights for me, family. I ain't even lying. Like, everybody, everything, like, I'm having one of them days, you hear me? Man, I'm having one of them days, man. Well, man, listen. Man, listen. Bruh, let me just drink some water right quick, yo. Let me just drink some water right quick, man. When I say, man, I'm talking about YouTube was bugging, tech was bugging, but it's all love, man. That Zoom was going crazy on me just now. You hear me? And I'm like, yo, it was crazy. You hear me? But it's all good, man. I ain't gonna let nothing. I'm one thing I'm gonna do is I had something dope planned for us tonight, man. I had one of my trappers literally we was gonna do this dope presentation. We was gonna break some things down. I guess the internet world, they had some other plans for us tonight. So what I'm gonna do is get with her and we just gonna walk through. We gonna see what the issue was. Even if we gotta go through another Zoom, we gonna cancel out Zoom and just do another platform. It is what it is. Um, but it is what it is, man. I appreciate everybody for jumping back on. But we're gonna take a step back, right? We're gonna take a step back. I'm gonna drink this water right quick. Because one thing I ain't gonna never do is stop pushing forward. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stop pushing forward. So we're gonna keep going. So let's talk about it, man. I had a few things I want to break down today, man, which was real cool, which was real dope. Ooh, that was gonna be that fire. But it's all good. It's all good. We gonna shake back, you hear me? So check it, man. So we ain't even gonna beat around the bush. Y'all already know what the markets did today. We gonna get straight into it, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I know, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all been trapping with me. I know, you know what I'm saying? We gonna try to bring something new to the game tonight. We gonna get it there. Sometimes it just take a little figuring out a little more. You know what I'm saying? But we good. We ain't really tripping. Shout out to the queen, man. I'm definitely gonna bring you back as a co-host. We don't know. I don't know what it was. We'll get back. We'll get that back. But definitely think about bringing a co-host on. Somebody that she really know their stuff. She really know her stuff. And I wanted to put her in because I feel like it was another element, a dope alley-oop, somebody who I know she been on a game. She real dope when it comes to breaking down businesses and understanding everything that go in the market. I think, and I still know it's gonna be a great component, especially for us to see somebody other than me, right? To see somebody other than me, and also to let the ladies have a voice, right? Because I feel like a lot of women really get busy in the stock market and they don't get a lot of credit for it. They face is not seen a lot. So what I plan on doing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the queen in. When we get it together, we get it right. I'm gonna bring her in, and I'm gonna just let her represent. You know what I'm saying? I think this year, I've noticed that there's a lot of women that's really getting into the game, that's really taking it serious. And so because of that, I was like, yo, like I see how you get down, and let's go. Um, so with that being said, man, let's talk about what's going on right now in the market. Let's talk about that. So today, Congress passed a bill, right? So Congress passed a bill for $900 billion in pandemic aid. Listen, we all right now. We ain't tripping on all that. You know what I'm saying? We good. You know what I'm saying? We gonna just let it roll. You know what I'm saying? Tonight was one of them nights. It ain't gonna be a perfect night tonight. We just gonna get busy. After 2-3 tries, I'm just like, let's just get it going. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get it going. So we ain't really tripping. This is one of them things you gotta just get busy. You know what I'm saying? So far they spent like $1.4 trillion, since September to now, right? So we talking 1.4 trillion from September to now. And so let's sit back and think about that, because the thing about that is this: even though they dumped $9 billion back into the market actually went down today. Toward the end of the day, the market kind of went down at the end of the day. And so I think part of that was because people see that the money coming into the market. So now what they got to do is they're going to take some profits off the table. I want to break these two things down to y'all right quick, right? One called GDP, right? One is GDP and one is GPI, right? And so a lot of people never really look at the GPI, right? They never really get into that. They never look at that because it's often overlooked. So we already know that the GDP represents all goods, services, everything that changes hands, right? So the GDP is actually up. The GDP is actually up 33%, right? Now, that's more than what it was expected, right? So it was only expected to be up about 31%. So they beat expectations, right? So they know that people still spending money, people still getting in, people still spending money, right? But here's the thing about the GDP, right? It can be misleading. And so I learned this of like maybe about 6-7 months ago, right? It can be misleading because it accounts for all transactions and all and goods and services that's done, right? So as long as people spending money, then the GDP gonna count that as something good happening, right? Now, here's the thing. The GPI, right? I want y'all to listen to that word, right? Genuine progress indicator, right? So let's say that GPI, genuine progress indicator, right? Now check this out. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to understand how this works. So both of them track the same thing, but here's what the GPI does. It actually tracks the value that happens through the transaction, right? So let's think about this. If somebody, for the GPI, it counts, let's say, washer and dryers, furniture, right? It counts all of that as a transaction. But here's the thing. It also counts it as a good transaction, right? Because you're adding value. Somebody gets a washer and dryer or furniture, they're not just buying it to buy it. They're buying it to add value to their homes, right? Also, the indicator goes up. Let's say the government puts money to poor parts of America, to poor impoverished neighborhoods in the world, in America, right? Well, that's going to send the indicator up, because what happens is not only does it puts money in the economy, but the money is now beneficial to a certain sector of people. Make sense? So let's put it in another way. Let's put it in another term. If we all hustling and we all on a block, the GDP just represent the fact that everybody hustling. It just represents that everybody's serving. The GPI represents everybody that literally got high from what we serving, right? So check it out. So the GPI represents who got the good and who got affected by it. The GDP just represents everybody's just hustling. It makes sense? You feel me? Yeah, like everybody pitching. So that's the GDP. Everybody pitching. Everybody got a transaction. Everybody going hand to hand. Right? That's the GDP. Right? That's the GDP. Oh, they booming. Trap booming over there. The GPI represents, only this section of people got high from it. This is what matters. You feel me? So the GPI is an indicator that we most definitely need to pay attention to. Why? Because we need to know who got high. You feel me? We need to know who got good. We don't need to be worried about just who pitching. That's cool, right? So this us understanding like how they really be finessing the numbers, right? This really us understanding like, okay, That's what that mean? Cool. So GDP, what that mean? That's all transactions. That's all goods and service. That's every time money mint, right? That's the dollar amount. Cool. All right. What's GPI? Oh, everybody hustling, but everybody ain't got good. This the people that got high. You feel me? So that's definitely something we definitely want to look at, right? That's something we want to pay attention to. That's something we want to, just make sure we understand, because the GDP can actually be misleading. But the GDP is actually one of those economic indicators that they going to always throw in front of your face, right? They'll be like, yeah, the gross domestic product is up, right? And the reason why I'm bringing that out is because what happens is, here's the thing. They pumped 900 billion into they about to pump another 900 billion yet. But a lot of people still out of jobs, right? A lot of people jobs not going to come back. So that means even though the market is soaring, people still hurting, right? People still hurting. People still trying to make it work. People still, trying to figure it out. But if you just looking at the GDP, hey, the GDP is up 33%. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely don't want to just get locked in on that, right? So this is another thing I'm going to bring. Yo, tonight's episode is going to be so epic, yo. So I'm introducing something new to every Trappin Tuesday. It's going to be called Watching the Whales, right? Whale watch. Right? That's what we gonna call it, right? Oh, I had a leg for him, like, you know what I'm saying? So, watching the whales or whale watchers. So one of the things I often do every week and so often is I have a list of them and I watch them. So let's talk about this, right? So Donald Yackman, right? Donald Yackman is somebody on my list, right? He's in my top 15, right? So check this out. Third quarter. Right, Donald Yackman has 45 stocks in his portfolio, right, under the Yackman Focus Fund, right? The Focus Fund is worth $2 billion. Now, here's the thing. Donald Yackman reduced Microsoft by 4.65%. He reduced the shares of Microsoft by 4.65%, still having $85 million in valuation in Microsoft. So we got to ask, for me, I often ask myself like, damn, why did he reduce that? That's how my mindset goes. My mindset goes into thinking like, why did they do this? Why did they make this move? Because for me, I'm often trying to think how they thinking, right? He also reduced 5.8% of his holdings in Google. Now, he still have $82 million in Google. So even though he reduced 4.65% in Microsoft and 5.5% in Google, he still have $80-something billion worth of stock in that business, right? So now for me, I need to go see what happened, what transpired within Google, what transpired in Microsoft to make him want to take some profits and trim the tree. Yo. So now we taking you inside of the mind of Trapper right now. Right? Now I'm taking y'all inside the mind of Trapper. Like, this stuff I need to know. I need to understand, like, why is this happening? Like, why is he doing this, right? Another whale on my list, right? Another whale on my list is Leon Cooperman, right? So Leon Cooperman, his fund right now is worth $1.1 billion. He has 41 stocks in his portfolio, right? He added 7.7% to, check this out, Navi Corporation. Now, if you don't know who that is, ticker symbol NAVI. So, you know who that is? That's the student loan people. If you got a student loan, then that's who you pay your money to. So I'm asking myself, Why did he add 7.7% to his portfolio? He has 3 million shares of this business, which is equivalent to $26 million. We need to ask ourselves this. But also, he reduced 22% of Cigna Corp. Now, if you don't know who Cigna is, that's a brand, a healthcare brand. So my mind is this: why did he go heavier into student loans and reduced health insurance? See? Like, so now we start to think like, what's going on here? Ticker symbol NAVI. That's right, NAVI, right? So we ask ourselves, why did he go heavy there and reduce health insurance? See, the goal and the objective for me is to always ask myself, why they moving the way they move? You feel me? Why they doing some of the things that they're doing? I need to know these things. Right? So now what that does is that makes me go say, okay, let me dig a little deeper, right? Let me go look at some of the things that he see. Let me go look at these businesses to see what happened and what transpired. You feel me? I need to know. I need to know. All right, so now here's another dude. Now listen, a lot of people don't know about this guy. His name is Li Lu, right? Li Lu studied under Charlie Munger, right? Now, if you don't know who Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's right-hand man. So Li Lu only has 4 stocks in his portfolio. He only has 4 stocks in his portfolio. His portfolio is worth $1.3 billion. Right? $1.3 billion. Now check this out. Check this out. See. See, now we're going to keep going. He added 15% into MU, which is Micron Technology, or Micron. He bought it at $46, and it is worth in his portfolio $538 million. That's his biggest position. So I'm like, damn, that's a chip company. We see chips are the future. We see technology rolling. I looked at their last earning report. I didn't see nothing. Enough to make me think. Then he bought it at $46. Made me think about him for a second. I had to ask myself, like, what's going on here? Right? Why did he put, he added 15% to his portfolio. Now that's crazy. He has 11 million shares. 11 million shares. 11 million shares. Now I'm giving y'all a game right here because now what happens is we get to look inside. We get to look inside. Now, this one completely caught me off guard. Completely caught me off guard. He added 118% of Facebook. He bought in at 266. 118 shares. 118% of Facebook. He has 1.3 million shares of Facebook at 266, which is worth $348 million. I had some smoke for y'all tonight, you heard me? I had some smoke for y'all tonight. I had some smoke for y'all tonight, yo. Watching the whales is a part of every Trappin Tuesdays. Well, we gonna break down what the big dogs doing. We gonna break down what they buying, what they selling. And we gonna start asking ourselves why they doing what they doing. Watching the whales, yo. Just let me get a red cup one time if you appreciate the watching the whales. One time. Just one time. I'm telling y'all, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little frustrated because I really put a lot of prep into this. And the first go round, it went good. And for us to go live and it didn't come through the way I wanted. The queen put a great presentation. Devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. You feel me? So watching the whales is something new that we gonna add to Trappin Tuesdays. I hope y'all appreciate this part of this segment of the show. But we got one more. We got one more part of watching the whales. Watching the whales, we got one more. Warren Buffett sold 3.7% of his Apple shares. Warren Buffett sold 3.7% of his Apple shares. He has, right now, 944 million shares of Apple worth $109 billion. God damn, he cooking. Let's talk about that. At a time right now where Apple is soaring, Warren Buffett said, let me take a little bit off the table. He sold 3.7%. 3.7% is still his biggest holding, but he took some money off the table. 3.7%. He still has $944 million worth of Apple stock. So he almost had $1 billion in Apple stock. Let's let that sink in for a second. What? This man owns 944 million shares of Apple stock. So, one of the questions, so let me ask this question. One of the questions from, let's talk about Apple for a second. So one of the questions from one of my trappers was this. Trap, let's see, where is that? Trap, does the Apple car rumor change your buy-in price? With any company, does rumor affect how you look at a business, or would you wait for actual revenue from the product to affect how you analyze the company's intrinsic value? Which is a great question. So let me say this to you, right? Let me say this. I never let rumors dictate my investment decision at all. No rumor can dictate how I personally will invest in a business, right? Not one rumor gonna do that, right? Because rumors aren't real, right? I mean, they can have some truth to it, but you can't add that to the intrinsic value until you see numbers, right? Until I see the numbers that this product brings, it doesn't do me no good. It sounds good. It'll make the stock price run up for a minute, but it doesn't do me any good, right? And also, those rumors never dictate my buy-in price, right? Because what happens is this. The buy-in price or what I'm willing to buy a stock at is actually based on the numbers that it has already produced from products that exist. We can't say that this is going to happen because Apple, so let's backtrack a little bit, right? Let's backtrack a little bit. If y'all been rocking with me for a minute, you know this. It was mid-2019, 2018, I said, it was 2019 because people were, this is when Tesla was around 185, right? Tesla was around 185 and people were saying, man, Apple should just buy a Tesla, right? And I was like, I heard this before. I was like, I heard of this before. Project Titan. This came about with Apple in 2014. They talked about Project Titan, which was the introduction to autonomous vehicles to the Apple brand. They talked about Apple glasses. 3 companies had failed to come out with glasses. Apple said, we'll produce them. Not right now, though. Right? So when Apple dropped this, it wasn't a damn for me. It was, I see you, Tim Cook. See, what we don't realize is that in 2018, and I said this is when I had the breakdown. In 2018, Apple hired one of Tesla's engineers. In 2018, Apple hired one of Tesla's engineers. So when they made that hire, it was already in our mind, oh, they coming up. Oh, we already know what they're doing. We already know what they're doing. But what I love about Apple so much is this. They won't drop a brand or a product if it isn't working properly. See, I've seen Google drop the folding phone and then the next day they take it off the thing because it's cracking. It don't work. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that. But Apple doesn't do that. When they drop a product, it's ready to rock. Say what you want. Tim Cook is hands down probably top 5 CEOs of this era. 100%. Say what you want. And I like something that Tim Cook did. I like something that Tim Cook did when he became CEO. He waited a couple of years and he said, let me just get this out so this is not a big issue. I'm a homosexual male. Never cap. Show me a CEO that does top 10 that's better than Tim Cook. You can't produce it. One, Apple is a premier brand of this decade. It has more. It has acquired more cash than any other business around. It has done that after Steve Jobs, yo. $193 billion sitting on the side. Name another company that did it. Name another company. Company has one of the biggest moats of any business on the stock market. Switching mode. Name another company that has it. That strong. That strong. That strong. You won't. Balance sheet like that, it's hard. It's hard. Hard. Under Tim Cook's regime, the company has people literally thought that this business, and I'm saying this in, I feel like the company's way overvalued. Primerica, no indeed. Don't you dare disrespect them, respect that product like that. Primerica trash, man. You killing me. That's a trash business. Trash. You can't even compare an innovative business to an insurance company. Stop it. Stop it. You can't do that. Moving along. The man has single-handedly transformed the way that Apple is now looked at. It's transformed it. At one point, what he did was people only looked at Apple. People only looked at Apple as an iPhone brand. What he did was, let me take the iPhone off the table, and now let me make Apple not an iPhone business, but let me make it a technology business. Let me make it now a technology business. Let me make Apple known for something other than just phones. Hardware. Streaming with Apple TV. So many tweaks that they've come up with in this game, man. And I think the company is overvalued by far. But if I'm gonna tell you something real, hear me out. If Apple crashes, part of this economy will plummet. If Apple crashes, if for some reason Tim Cook say, we're not making iPhones no more, a huge part of this economy crashes. If Prime America stops selling insurance, nobody cares. You just get some more. If Prime America stops selling insurance, you just go somewhere else. Nobody misses them. Or they went out of business for sure. Let me go over here. You hear me? You sell insurance, fam? Let me get a pause. I'm just saying. Prime America? Stop it. Don't do that. No. I need my button. No. My man said Prime America. Don't do me that. Don't do me that. Not that. You feel me? So let's talk about it, man. But here's what I think about that situation. Here's what I think about that, though. Here's what I think about that. Yes, Elon Musk did try to get Tim Cook to buy Apple in 2014. Tim Cook didn't even answer the phone. He didn't even answer the phone. And it's crazy that we think about that, like, Tesla calls you. Look at Tesla now, right? And Tim Cook like, we got the Apple call coming. We got the Apple call coming. Nah, here's the thing. Apple won't produce the car. Apple will not produce the car. So now we got to ask ourselves this. Who's going to be the producer? Who's going to be the producer? Who's going to be the producer? So I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, we have two car companies, Ford, $175 billion in debt, GM, $126 billion in debt, right? So my thing is, with Apple having $192 billion sitting on the side, right? They could partner with one of these businesses and give them new life, because Ford and GM already have production lines ready. You can save jobs and you can help them get out of debt. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying, you feel me? They got to go to somewhere that can mass produce, but they also creating their own hardware. Think about it. Apple took Intel and said, I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to holler at you. And let's talk about that for a second. To all my people who are invested in Intel, I think it may be time to panic. I think it may be time to panic. Why? Because you lost Apple and Microsoft. You lost Apple and Microsoft. I think it may be time to panic. Just because we talking about Apple right now. You know what I'm saying? You lost Apple and Microsoft. Damn. I think it might be time to go somewhere else. Yeah. It's just me. It's just me talking my talk. You know, I ain't really trying to. All right, so listen. So one of my trappers asked me a question. You know, I always gotta answer my questions from my trappers, man. That's the family. You know what I'm saying? So one of the trap, what does it mean when a stock has two tickers and one has a W at the end? What's the difference in the two tickers? So let's answer that question. That's a multi-layer question, right? So normally when a stock has two tickers, one has voting rights and the other one doesn't. Let's start there. Right? Let's start there. Normally one has voting rights, normally the other one doesn't. Right? Secondly, if it has a W, that indicates that the stock has warrants attached to it. Now, let's go a little deeper. If it has a Q on it, then that means the stock is somewhere flirting around with in a process of bankruptcy. Right? If it has a Y on it, then that means that it is a non-US stock that is trading on the US markets. Example, LVMUY. Y'all know I love that stock, right? So if it has a Q on it, it's a company flirting with bankruptcy or they're in the process of bankruptcy. If it has a Y on it, then that means it's a foreign company that is trading on the US market. Again, LVMUY. You feel me? Another question. Trap, what is this new thing on the New York Stock Exchange about direct listings? So, that's not really a new thing. That's an old thing. So, what direct listings is, so let's break down what direct listings is and what IPOs is. Yo, I had a great segment lined up for tonight. Damn. Yo, let me just drink this right quick, yeah. Let's bring it back. We can't trip over spilled milk. Let's just bring it back. Let's just take it back for a second. Just a second. All right, cool. We back. Right, we back. So, let's talk about these things, right? So, some of your biggest direct listings that came were Spotify, Slack, and what's this one, man? Just did. Not Peloton. It's gonna come to me. But those, yeah, Plantier. Thank you. So what a direct listing is this. And so now that we talk, since you asked that question, I'm glad you asked that question because today the New York Stock Exchange has added something. They voted that direct listings can now raise capital. So let's talk about what direct listings are, right? So a direct listing is when a company, instead of them IPOing, they can go straight to they can sell straight to the public markets, right? So they don't have to go through an underwriter. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff when you do typical IPOs, right? A whole lot of people in your pocket. With direct listing, you can be like, all right, boom, I'm selling my stuff straight to the market, right? Straight to the market. Now, here was the flaw in doing direct listing. The flaw in doing direct listing for other companies was whatever you sold out the gate, however many shares you had, you couldn't do another funding round. Right? You couldn't do another funding round. So whatever you sold out of the gate, let's say you jumped out the gate with 100 shares, after them 100 shares are sold, you can't raise no more money. Right? But there is no lockout. So whenever I buy it, I can sell it. It is what it is. I buy it, I sell it. It is what it is. Right? And there is no middleman. Whereas with a typical IPO, you got to give it an underwriter. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I apologize. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. You got to get with somebody like that. And what they're going to do is come in, evaluate the business, tell you what the business is worth. You put the shares in the market. But they also have 25% of the shares. And what they can do with that 25% is, if the market is, if the company IPOs and the market is in the stocks are down, they can then use them 25% to regulate and bring it back. No, it's not a SPAC. It's not a SPAC. I'll explain what a SPAC is for you too. Glad you asked that question, beloved. So, or if it skyrockets, they can use them 25 to lower the price or boost it up. They have that wiggle room, right? But also there's a lockout period, meaning with an IPO, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can sell those shares, right? If you was into Snowflake, you saw the other day last week that Snowflake dropped tremendously. Well, what happened was the people who got in prior to the IPO, they sold. Like, once that lockout period, they're like, let me get my bread. Let me get my bread out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my bread out of here. I'm gone. Now, what a SPAC is this. A SPAC is me just having an empty company, right? I'm on the market, but it's an empty company. I see some companies I like, I go buy them. Put them under here. That's a SPAC. So I got an empty trap house. I see y'all trapping. Yo, you want to come trap out the trap house? It's already jumping. I'm going to acquire you. You come up under my trap house, you trap. That's what a SPAC is, right? So that's what the difference is in that, right? Another trapper asked me, Trap, what the question is. In 2021, do you think it's wise to start researching companies that do electric charging stations? You should have started that now. You should have started that now. Don't wait till 2021. You should be doing that now. Why? Because that's the future. Buffett is not a SPAC. Berkshire Hathaway is a real company. A SPAC is a company that has no companies in it. The sole purpose of a SPAC is to acquire business. It's no real company. It's called a shell, right? It's called a shell. They don't have a real mission. They just write big checks. All they do is see companies that got potential. They write a check. They fall up under that. It can actually be a private business, and they can buy it and put it up under their name, and now it's on the stock market. Berkshire Hathaway is a cash cow. That thing is huge. Another question one of the trappers had is it smart? Ooh, this is a good question. Gee, y'all getting good with these questions. Is it smart to shift positions to small cap growth stocks as money is pumped into the market and rates are low? So, in case anybody doesn't know, small cap growth stocks are stocks that are anywhere between $300 million and $2 billion. Right? 300 million and $2 billion. Right? They typically outperform the bigger brothers or the bigger sisters, right? Small caps typically outperform. You can look at the Russell 2000. We gave y'all this talk a while back, right? Now, here's the thing. Small caps are really good in the beginning of bull markets, right? Because you get that run. They're going to run. But they often fizzle out because, people see them running. You sell off. But they have huge, huge potential. Huge, huge potential. So to answer that question, I actually have 3 of those from the Russell. They run well when they are managed by great businesses, great CEOs and great managers. So I don't have a problem with you transitioning into small caps, right? I don't have a problem with you switching to small caps, but I just need you to make sure it's ran by great management, that it has great management and that it can, that you see the upside. But I'm all for us getting into small cap stocks. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's actually a win-win for you. So here's another question from one of the trappers. When you first started, you had a Robinhood account to show us how easy it was to invest. Do you still have that account with all that's been going on in Robinhood? And if you do or don't, is it still a good way to start building your portfolio? So I, had that Robinhood account just to show people, how easy it was to invest. And then, I wasn't really doing nothing with it, like talking about it. Because majority of my money, again, is in TD Ameritrade. So I will say that be mindful when you in Robinhood. Just pay attention to what's going on for people who are there. I think, especially now, they come out showing that they've been lying to people how they make money, but they never lied to me because I already knew how they made money, and I broke that down so many times about how Robinhood actually makes money. A lot of things happen when you buy Robinhood. You buying stocks overpriced. If you look at the prices on Robinhood and then the prices on like other accounts, it's always gonna be different. They actually have a delay in Robinhood, so if you buy at one price, by the time you press the button and it goes through, it's a whole nother price. And that little gap in between is how they eat. You got to figure if a stock costs $5 and you see it for $5, and then by the time you buy it, it's $5.50 or $5.60. They made 60 cents off you. Just imagine how many times they doing that to them people, and they got over 400 million users. You know what I'm saying? Like, they making a lot of money off people like that. So, I mean, I think it's good to get your feet wet if that's what you want to do, but I want you to transition to a bigger brokerage so you can understand how the game is really played. One more question. How do you feel about Goldman Sachs offering wealth management to the masses? So if you know me, you know that I love Goldman Sachs. I think it's one of the best banks in the world. But it's an investment bank. I think it's a great idea, but I'm all about managing our own wealth. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great idea, but I'm all about us taking care of our own money. I'm all about us understanding how to build our wealth. Yes, you can transfer shares from Robinhood to another account. All you have to do is call the bigger brokerage, and a lot of times they'll just do it for you. You know, they'll just tell you what it is to do it, and they'll actually do it for you. So that's dope. I want to say something too, man. This week, I did something profound. It was my first time. Thank God that I was in a position to be able to do it. I went home to New Orleans, and me and my bro, I won't say the dollar amount, but we gave back toys, and we did toys, we paid bills, and we gave coats back in New Orleans to people who were in need. I was overwhelmed with joy for that. To see, because I knew it was, this year has been tough on a lot of people. And everybody, you know, financially aren't in the, situation to do certain things. So I called my bro and I called his wife, and I was like, man, I just want to make this happen. I don't care what gotta happen. I don't care what, I want this to happen. God has blessed me, and what better thing to do is to be a bigger blessing to somebody else. So we made it happen in about a 2-week time span. Shout out to his wife, Mia, because she made sure it was perfectly done. And to hundreds of people we paid bills for. And that was amazing for me. So I definitely want to say shout out to everybody for that. Y'all got my daughter. She been running me all day. Right now, we are doing a flash sale for 48 hours with the Wealth Pack. It is now on sale for 48 hours for $3.99. It is a $19.99 original product, so $2,000. I told Rashad, I said, bruh, like, he was like, Trap. I'm like, man, I'm just, in that place right now, man. Like, I want to finish the year good and just doing what I can. So the Wealth Pack is $3.99. DM me on Instagram the word the plug, and I'll send you that. Just DM me the word the plug if you want to get the Wealth Pack. The Wealth Pack we doing. For the Wealth Pack, man, we breaking down ETFs, complete walkthrough, how to invest in gold, how to invest with a Roth IRA, how to set up a custodial account for your kids. We literally walk you through setting up the account. I personally walk you through 5 stocks that I love. And the goal is to how to make your kid a millionaire, how to guarantee your kid a millionaire. So we're doing it for $3.99. It's normally a $2,000 course. We're doing it for 48 hours. So DM me the word the plug, and I'm doing a Wallstreet travel course for $199. After Christmas, it's probably gonna go back up because I got some other stuff I'm doing. So you can DM me the word Big Trap to get that, man. So I just want to tell everybody good night. I love y'all. I'm gonna lay in the bed with my daughter, man. Today been a long day. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Definitely gonna have everything on track for next Tuesday. I'm out, y'all. Peace, love.